Ah.
My groin. Fell on my groin.
The fact that Steve is able to communicate this fact so coherently would suggest it did not.
She's gonna hunt you down one by one and slit your throat.
Show chose to cut a series-long B-plot where Lucas's mother is a slasher hiding out in rural Indiana and went with Nancy's mother lusting after a teenager instead. Let this be a lesson to you. Always lock the Murphy bed that leads to your underground lab. Discount T2 is doing the classic villain slow walk, but is the classic villain slow walking slow enough for Hopper to have subdued 2 guys he couldn't communicate with? This sin certainly doesn't think so.
I'm gonna count to 3.
Hopper clearly went to the every movie ever school of holding your gun too close to the bad guy while giving them a countdown so they're able to easily disarm you in an episode of Stranger Things. No one getting shot or at least grazed with a ricochet in this tiny and enclosed space is a f***ing script-created miracle.
Hopper!
Throwing guns at your friends.
Oh, shit.
Throwing guns at your friends in a way that leaves me questioning whether they're your friends at all because you're clearly trying to get them killed.
Come on, smear it off.
That's vodkist. Wow, I had no idea the Empire even had a Russian campus for training stormtroopers.
Joyce! Drive!
Hopper decides that the most efficient way to hand off the keys to their only means of escape is to blindly throw them on the ground and force Joyce to fumble around in the dark for them, instead of waiting until they're in the car to hand them over. You know, the place they'll both be in a few seconds.
Drive!
I get that it's a tense moment, but screaming at someone while they're concentrating isn't going to help. Can you imagine trying to tie your shoes with Hopper screaming, "Tie!"
Is he safe?
Why wouldn't he be safe?
Jonathan, do you not know where you live?
What are they doing?
Illinois. They're going to Illinois.
Elle being confused by the concept of Illinois as if it wasn't the place she went to waste an entire episode finding herself last season. Why is confusion?
They will torture and kill us. Hey!
You gotta take it easy on that thing, okay? You're gonna drain the battery.
Waiting until season 3 of your TV show to worry about the batteries of these walkie-talkies. This is like Star Wars waiting until the sequels to start worrying about ship fuel.
This is not water.
No, but it's a liquid, and if it comes down to me drinking that shit or dying of thirst, I drink.
By that logic, Erica should have been far more annoyed when Steve wasted all that precious drink a few minutes ago. Asking someone with a lit cigarette if they can smell literally anything.
What time was this attack?
Around 9. What time was your sauna test?
Around 9.
Well, that proves it. That proves my theory.
No, that is circumstantial correlation that adds some weight to your hypothesis. Honestly, it's like they're not even doing real science here. Nancy survives this and isn't righteously sacrificed to the Mind Flayer by Mike, Lucas, Will, or Max. If I took a monkey wrench to the knee, I wouldn't be kneeling like this, that's for sure. In fact, I wish I could kneel like this pre-taking a monkey wrench to the knee. The sin is my knees.
That's why you should listen to Alexi.
All right, yeah. Your new boyfriend, right?
Whoever read the script for Stranger Things 3 and said, "We love Hopper, but we need to dial up the Ross Geller to 11, this sin is for you. Drinking Coke when your goal is hydration.
Just keep your mouth shut, all right?
Telling a guy who no one would understand anyway to keep his mouth shut. Also, telling a guy who doesn't understand what you're saying to keep his mouth shut.
Ah, Detective Byers.
Making Joyce a fake detective, but not bothering to come up with a fake name for her, like Detective Too Good For Me.
No, I'm just saying I don't know jack shit about Prometheus.
Don't feel bad, Steve. Most of the people who watched Prometheus didn't know jack shit about Prometheus. That also goes for most of the people who acted in, wrote, and directed Prometheus, too.
Wherever that broadcast is coming from.
It's close.
So close that I'm wondering why Dustin's distress call earlier wasn't picked up by every Russian soldier down here, too. These kids should be surrounded by more Russian muscle than Apollo Creed and Rocky IV. Too soon, I hear you say? Well, how is that possible when this takes place in the summer of 1985 and Rocky IV didn't come out until November of that year? How can it be too soon when it hasn't even happened yet? Yeah, come at me, nerds. I must break you.
He was attacked.
Sure, the first thing I do when I'm amateur analyzing a crime scene is to make sure my very much not police-associated fingerprints are all over the evidence, especially any potential weapons. Really helps me feel like I was there when the crime happened.
They must have taken them somewhere.
Whoa, now there were the presumptions there, Columbiers. You're saying that them not being here led you to deduce that they're somewhere else? How does he do it?
What?
What else did you say? This psycho.
Discount Drago chooses conspicuous violence when $5 in these hostess treats would have worked just as well on Mr. Minimum Wage here.
You have dragged an enemy of the state into my home as carelessly as a child drags in on his shoe.
Kids. Also, technically, Hopper dragged an enemy of the state to your front door. You let him in, Murray.
This is not gonna work.
What do you mean?
He's not eccentric. He's certifiable.
Says the woman who's currently chasing down leads based on the hypothesis that the government is f***ing with her fridge magnets. Lest ye be judged, Joyce. Lest ye be judged.
Glass houses, Stress.
Hopper, being less articulate about what I literally just pointed out.
You saw the comms room?
I saw a bunch of lights and machines and in there.
That could be 100 different things.
I'll take those odds.
Taking these odds.
We're gonna move fast. We're gonna stay low.
None of the 7 Russians here see 4 obvious kids walk out of this hallway. You're telling me the 2 guys up here on the walkway didn't notice Steve's gang?
You did it! You wanna fight!
Dustin's a wingman we all need, but I need to know why he isn't questioning the simulation he lives in, considering the first fight Steve wins is against a trained soldier in the Russian military.
What are you doing?
Getting us our ticket out of here.
I'm also not disarming the radio guy just in case he wakes up and decides to kick Steve's ass for real this time.
There's something up there.
Maximum points to Robin for the impressive feat of making the "you better come take a look at this" cliche 100 times vaguer than it already was. Aw, man, they dragged the poor Loki summoning Tesseract laser thingy from Avengers Assemble into this mess.
You know the rules, 2 visitors at a time.
Nancy chooses Jonathan the Bland for this mission instead of the only party member with actual superpowers.
You know,
Skip.
Does your species like M&Ms?
Nice job on the accurate M&M's wrapper from 1985, but the Sprite logo on this vending machine didn't come into circulation until 1989. Oh, so close. This guy's Michael Myersing so hard, I think that Nancy and Jonathan could have taken the elevator, picked up some snacks, taken the elevator back up here, and then taken the stairwell to safety with time to spare. Also, wait, weren't they just in the stairwell? Why didn't they just go all the way down to the ground floor instead of dragging this shit out for another 6 minutes? Ruining the tension of your chase scene with sudden chocolate drink product placement. The Mind Flayer is clearly paying his subjects by the hour, considering how many times Tom Zombie here throws Jonathan around instead of just killing him.
go to hell!
Inserting weird pauses into your basic as one-liners in an attempt to make them more memorable. Will, who's previously sensed upside down activity from miles away, will somehow not sense it mere floors above him. He only notices something is up when the lights start flickering, which should be an immediate red flag for every single traumatized kid in this waiting room. Wow, how gross. And fascinating. It's a shame that this is something that I, an actual human being, would have completely missed as a result of my already running out of the hospital.
Now let me see your war face! Ah!
We've clearly established that those buttons don't work.
Button. Who's got the button?
Что, американская полиция?
They speak English and what? I'm gonna blow some daylight into that thick skull of yours. No. I must break you. Joyce, drive.
I'm
Joyce,
trying.
please.
Loud noises!
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Where is he? Is he safe?
Yes, it's safe. It's very safe. It's so safe you wouldn't believe it.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
И это с моего лица ты лысая американская свинья.
I saw that guy. He wasn't bald. He had a shaved head.